what's up, Internet Peoples? Todd here again, and after that exciting Mass Effect trailer that we got just a few days ago, and after scrolling through every inch of that video, going through every tweet I could find from the developers about that game, and just studying up on my Mass Effect lore, kind of, refreshing myself on it, I think I'm ready to discuss my theories and my speculations on what the next game is going to be about. Before we do that though, we should probably speculate responsibly and put on some protection. Alright, now that I got my tinfoil hat, I think we're ready to speculate responsibly. In the opening shot, we see two galaxies, one of which we know is the Milky Way. As I mentioned in my reaction video, the lead project developer of this game, Michael Gamble, said in a tweet that this was very intentional. This other galaxy is very likely the Andromeda Galaxy, as that would be the next galaxy over, and we are familiar with that galaxy due to Mass Effect Andromeda. Plus, there are other tidbits of evidence to point to this, but I'll talk more about that when I talk about the potential plot of this game. We hear many voice clips as the camera pans through the Milky Way galaxy. I don't think these are really of much importance other than to establish that this is in fact the Milky Way galaxy. Though we do hear one of the voice lines say that Arc 6 is away, which is another reference to Mass Effect Andromeda. The Arcs were the ships that took all the species from the Milky Way galaxy to Andromeda. There was the Human Arc, the Asari Arc, the Turian Arc, and the Solarian Arc. And if you count the Nexus as an arc, then I guess that would also be an arc. The interesting thing about this little voice clip here is that it mentions Arc 6, and we actually don't know which arc is Arc 6, as there are only 5 arcs if you include the Nexus. The 6th arc could have been the Quarian arc that was designed to carry Drell, Hanar, Batarians, Elcor, and the Volus. That was lost and was teased at the end of Mass Effect Andromeda. This could have some implications for the next game, though I'm not sure to what extent right at this time. The next notable shot we see is of a destroyed Mass Effect relay, as we hear a Reaper shriek. First off, I just want to say, I absolutely love hearing that noise from the Reapers. I get chills down my spine every time I hear it. It's so cool. It's evil and menacing, and it's so cool. Anyway, this is very interesting, because no matter which ending you choose in Mass Effect 3, the relays were all repaired. The only relay that was completely destroyed was the Batarian relay back in Mass Effect 2, during the Arrival DLC. It is possible, because this section of the trailer is telling us a brief history of the Milky Way galaxy, it is only showing us the destroyed relay because after the Crucible was fired, it did destroy the relays. So it may not be an existing relay that is still broken after the war, but rather a look into the past. So this shot probably has nothing to do with the plot of the game, and is only there to give us some nostalgic feels. In fact, I don't think anything is relevant to the plot of the game until after we get to the next scene. Now we get into the real meat and potatoes of this video. In the next scene, we see a ship heading down towards the planet below. This looks to be the same ship that was shown in the concept art that was revealed during the Legendary Edition announcement, when they announced that this game was actually happening. And of course we see this ship heading down towards that planet with 3 moons. And as we see in later shots, this is an ice planet. Some people have speculated that this could be the same ice planet that the first Normandy crashed on and that you visit in Mass Effect 2. This planet was called Alkira? Alkira? I think it's Alkira. I think it's Alkira. I'm sure someone in the comments will fix my pronunciation there, but I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it right. I'm pretty sure it's Alkira. It does in fact have 3 moons, just like the planet we see here. It could also just be a random new planet because, the Mass Effect universe is so wide and vast. There's tons of ice planets and tons of planets with 3 moons, so it could just be a coincidence, but I don't think that's very likely, especially because of some of the shots we see a little bit later on. We then see on the planet below a person who is later revealed to be Liara, climbing up the remains of a dead Reaper. This was confirmed by Michael Gamble to in fact be a Reaper that she's climbing on. We can even see a silhouette of another dead Reaper in the background. This seems to hint that the Destroy ending is the canon ending for the next game, because the only ending where the Reapers were killed was in fact the Destroy ending. However, they could still find a way to incorporate the other endings from Mass Effect 3 into the game. And just because they show something in a trailer doesn't mean that that is in fact the canon way of it happening. That's just them advertising one of the possible choices or one of the possible outcomes of your choices. Anyway, my point is that even though this looks like it is taking place after the Destroy ending, it's still possible that we could follow the events of the other endings as well. We then see Liara pick up an N7 badge off the frozen ground, which is another reason why I think this is probably Alkira, because this is probably remains of Shepard's old armor. Now, it doesn't look like, to me, like she picked it off of a body, but rather it was just lying around frozen to a rock, or just to the ground or the ice. Some people have said that this is her finding Commander Shepard, or at least finding a clue to his location, but I'm starting to think that is less likely. We see Liara has aged quite a bit. Asari take hundreds of years to age, so those wrinkles on her face would probably put her at midlife, between 500 to 700 years old. So there is no way Commander Shepard would still be alive. Even if Shepard did survive at the end of Mass Effect 3, like we saw in one of the possible versions of the Destroy ending, Shepard couldn't have lived any longer than 150 years old. I think the reason she is smiling here is because the badge reminds her of her time on the Normandy and her crew. She doesn't start to smile until after she looks at her new friends that are in the background. I think being with this new crew brings back fond memories of the past, and that is why she is smiling, not because she has found Shepard. Now, I know that might disappoint some people, but honestly, I don't really see any possible way of bringing back Commander Shepard, at least in this time period that this game seems to take place. But let's talk about those friends of hers in the background. We see a Solarian, a human, and a Krogan standing by a ship. The human appears to be wearing Pathfinder armor like Ryder wears in Andromeda. And to me, the Solarian kind of looks like Callow, pilot of the Tempest, but that could just be any old Solarian, to be honest. A lot of them wear very similar clothes. And at first I thought the Krogan in the background could have been Drac from Andromeda, but it doesn't look like he has any bones attached to his armor, so perhaps this is a new Krogan character. Also, in the concept art for this scene, it looks like there's an Angaran there among the crew. This leads me to believe that Liara might be joining up with Ryder's crew from Andromeda. And I guess that leads me more into what I think the plot of this game may actually be. According to some more concept art that was shown for this game, we see a new mass relay being built, and its design looks very much like something we would see from the Andromeda Initiative. My guess is now that Ryder is done helping settle Andromeda, they have built a new relay to help them get back to the Milky Way and establish connection with Earth and the rest of the species of the galaxy. And as the Pathfinder, Ryder probably sent through the new relay with a small team to establish communications. And as he or she gets to the Milky Way galaxy, they find that it has changed drastically since when they were last there. Either because the war just changed things drastically after the Destroy ending, or everyone's a bunch of human synthetic hybrids, just like in the synthetic merger ending, whatever. What was that one called? I don't remember. Or because there are a bunch of Reapers around because of the Control ending. At some point, I think they run into Dr. Liara Tassoni, who fills them in on what happened and then joins their crew for some mission. I don't really know what they would need to team up for, but that's probably what's going to happen. They're probably looking for some way to beat the Ket. Maybe the Ket followed them through the mass relay, and now the Ket have arrived in the Milky Way. And maybe they need to root through the remains of these Reapers to find some Reaper tech, either to help them find lost secrets from the Remnant, or find a way to beat the Ket once and for all. Either way, it seems to me that this game is more of a sequel to Mass Effect Andromeda rather than Mass Effect 3. Though I think a majority of the game will take place in the Milky Way, I think it will focus more on the characters from Andromeda rather than the characters from the original trilogy. Now, the questions that come up for me, though, is one, why do they have this new ship? This smaller ship instead of the Tempest? Like, what happened to the Tempest? Did it get destroyed? Is this some kind of like transport shuttle like the Kodiak in Mass Effect 3? Or could the Tempest not make a jump through a relay? I don't know, like maybe they needed to stay incognito? I don't know. My next question I guess would be, how did the Initiative in Andromeda make a relay? We know the relays were made by the Reapers, for one, and two, they made it such a big deal in the first game, in Mass Effect Andromeda, that once they got there was no turning back. Why would they make such a big deal about this if they planned on making a relay that could head back to the Milky Way galaxy? Those are probably some holes in my theory, possibly. Or they're potential plot holes for the game coming up. But it seems to me that based on the tweets from Michael Gamble and the crew at Mass Effect, that we are going to still explore the Andromeda galaxy in this game, while also going back to the Milky Way. And that we're going to see some kind of converging storyline between the original trilogy and Mass Effect Andromeda. We're going to see them cross over somehow. And unfortunately, the only way that's really going to be possible is if it takes place along the same timeline as Andromeda in the future. And because they're 600 years in the future, there's really no way for Commander Shepard to be the main character of this game. Unless they do some weird thing where he was like frozen in ice for hundreds of years like Captain America, or they bring him back to life yet again like they did in Mass Effect 2. I personally wish they wouldn't do that. I mean, I still think it was kind of stupid that they killed him off and then brought him back in Mass Effect 2 anyway. So to do that for a second time, I think is just ridiculous. Well, anyway, that's all the speculation I have going on, so I'm going to take off this ridiculous hat. So just... There we go. Anyways, what do you think of my thoughts on this game? What are some of your theories and speculations you have about this game that you got from watching from this trailer? Leave your theories and speculations down in the comments section down below. And maybe if you feel so inclined, maybe you could hit that like button. It really does help out my channel. I mean, you could also hit the dislike button, but if you did that, I would hunt you down, and I would find you, and I'd rip you in half with a singularity. Okay? And as always, if you like these videos, if you like this video, and you want to hear more of my thoughts on Mass Effect or Star Wars or Marvel Comics and the movies, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you're notified of all my future videos. And I definitely plan on talking way more about Mass Effect in the future. I've got a ton of Mass Effect videos I've got planned, well on the way, and I'm working on, so look forward to those. Alright, well, as Commander Shepard would say, I should go. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a good one.